Hey, and welcome back to Talk Better Worlds. I'm SirFelixTheCat, and this is The Blender. Today, I'm just gonna do a quick little tier maker list. Today, we're gonna look at the Netflix Marvel shows, because that's something that I love. They're all fantastic, even if some of them have some kind of janky action. But yeah, so let's take a look at this. So I kind of try to line these up as best as I could, please, so their seasons are somewhat in order. And I'll be honest, there's some that I haven't watched. Let's actually just change this to not watched, because I saw there's at least one I didn't know even existed. Alright, so we're going to start with the king himself, Daredevil. Daredevil Season 1 came out, and honestly, this show just absolutely blew me away. I'm going to go ahead and put it in an S. This shows the beginning of Daredevil's career, going from being a lawyer into being the superhero that we know him as, or the vigilante hero, whatever you want to call him. He is pretty savage. Acting and cast were just on point. Daredevil himself is fantastic. I forget the guy's name who plays Kingpin. Starts with a D, something, sounds French, I don't know. But he's also fantastic, and I'm glad they're coming back for that new Disney take on Daredevil. Alright, Season 2, it picked up. It wasn't as good. And if I have these icons in the wrong order, I apologize. I believe this is the order they go in, though. But yeah, Season 2 was cool, had good action. The story was pretty awesome. Seeing Elektra and all that. I'm going to put it in a B. It just didn't blow me away as much as the first season did. Still not bad, though. And then we have Season 3. We have the Punisher in this one. Absolutely fantastic. I'm going to get to him later, but he is amazing. Absolutely amazing. That's going to go on S as well. This show is probably the best thing that Netflix did. There is another competitor to it, but this is, in my opinion, the best one by far. Then we're going to go on to Iron Fist, and I had already mentioned some of them didn't have the greatest action. Iron Fist is a great character. But sadly, I mean, the actor who plays Iron Fist, he's also fantastic. But they didn't give him much time to learn the moves. It was pretty sad how they did that. Story was still cool. Sadly, because of Netflix's lack of planning and, like, preparing the actor for his role, it's going to get a C. As for Season 2, things did get better. It's still not the greatest show. Not bad by any means. Not as bad as the first season. But Season 2 is going to go on to a B. Then we have Jessica Jones Season 1. This show was beautiful. This is the one I was saying is going to compete with Daredevil. It is definitely an S. Everything about it is great. What's his name? Doctor Who. David Tennant playing the bad guy. Beautiful choice. Beautiful choice. Wonderful actor. Season 2 was cool. Yeah, Season 2 is going to have to go on an A. I'm sorry. That one's still beautiful. Jessica Jones, if you guys don't know about her, if you haven't watched the show, definitely go check it out. I believe it still is available on Netflix. If not, find another way to watch it. I want these all to be on DVD so I can buy them. That would be beautiful. But Jessica Jones is stupid strong. She's not like Hulk status, but she can jump stupid far. She can hit you like a steamroller, just knock you out, send you flying. She's a drunk, and she has a very sarcastic mouth on her, and she's beautiful. Like, she is beautiful. Great character. And here's the one that I didn't know even existed. They made a third season. I thought it stopped at Season 2, to be honest. I thought it was just like Iron Fist and our next one, Luke Cage. Which, let's talk about Luke Cage. So he does make an appearance in Jessica Jones. He's one of her love interests in the show. There's people who don't think that the main actor did a good job. Like, there's people who just completely just shit all over the show, and it's very sad. I think the show is fantastic. I think he's a great choice. They portray his powers perfectly. He's not... Sadly, I feel like some of the people wanted him to be more of a racist take on Luke Cage. Like, they wanted him to be like he's back So in my opinion, the comics were kind of racist towards him. He had his afro and all that in the original days. He was... I don't know, I feel like the changes they made were the same things that Pokemon did with Jinx. How they kind of tried to not make Jinx look like it was blackface. That's what I feel like people want them to do, is like make Luke Cage blackface in a way. And that's not cool. I think they did a good job of making the character more modern without destroying the character as to what he is. Like, he's still the same cool guy. Everybody loves him. Like, everybody who meets Luke Cage in that world loves him. He's a great guy. He's very friendly. He's there to help you. And yeah, this dude is a tank. This dude is huge. Like, he is massive. He's probably one of my more favorite, I guess he's not like Avenger status, but I mean, he very well could be. He basically can get shot by anything and not take any damage. He feels it a little bit, but it's not enough to phase him most of the time. Like in the show, you see him get hit with a shotgun straight in his chest. And yeah, it knocks him back, but he's fine. Like, nothing happens to him. He is a beautiful, beautiful character. So the first season, it is going to go on A. I loved it. Season 2 is going to go on A as well. Its story was a little bit darker than the first season. The cast is great. I like the introduction of the villain. Everything about this show is solid. It's not Daredevil season 1 status or season 3 status. It's not Jessica Jones season 1 status, but it's right there. Just like season 2 of Jessica Jones. It was fantastic. So then we have the Defenders, which is when we get Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist together. And again, there are some issues with action, which blows my mind. Let's go back to Daredevil. Some of the coolest action in a TV show. Like, he is savage in Daredevil. And the action is kind of dumbed down for Defenders. Its story is also kind of rushed because they put what should have been like a multi-season show into one season. And sadly, it was kind of after this that Netflix announced that, hey, Marvel's moving away. It's going to end up going to Disney and all this stuff. And that just ruined everybody's mood on Netflix for a little bit. But it caused the show to suffer some. We don't get the same sense of action. The story is decent. There could have been more to it. There should have been more to it, to be honest. And one thing they really did nail is how these characters work together, because they kind of got thrown into the situation just at once. And yeah, you had Luke Cage, who knew Jessica Jones. I wanted to see more of the Iron Fist Luke Cage connection, because they do have like a connection, and it would be great to see those two characters work together more. Just see a bigger impact by those two. And then Daredevil, being the leader of the group, he's Daredevil. He's probably the most solid. Yeah, he's the most solid through all the shows. Sadly, because it did suffer some because of what Netflix did to it by rushing it and then Disney pulling it from them and all that nonsense, it's going to go on a B. Again, B does not mean it's terrible in any way. It's just not the greatest thing ever because it did suffer some. And then we have The Punisher. So, The Punisher is very, very brutal. It's almost to the point where some people feel he should be just a purely like rated R or whatever. I don't want to say rated X because that's kind of that's a little bit disturbing. I don't want to see a Punisher porn. But it's a much darker show. It's very brutal. He's a very dark character. He's all about revenge. In I believe every iteration of him. He is former military who was how do I want to say this? Basically, he's getting revenge against the mob who killed his family. And that's become his life goal. After his family was killed, he basically snaps and he's like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm going to take them down. I'm going to serve justice my way. Because obviously the cops aren't doing anything to protect, they did nothing to protect his family. So, I mean, I get it. He makes sense. The action in this show is absolutely beautiful. It's brutal without going too far, without being disturbing. It shows how great he is at pretty much, well, besides just killing. He's great at interrogation, getting the information he needs while just completely annihilating his enemies. Yeah, season 1 is going to go on A. Absolutely. Season 2, it's just as dark. I wish there was more to it. I felt like it was a little rushed towards the end. That's going to put it in a B for me. It could very well be an A as well. I know Hawk would agree that show should be like A or S because it is fantastic. But that's just my opinion on the end of it. It does feel kind of rushed. And yeah, that's my list. Obviously, I need to go watch the 3rd season of Jessica Jones since I didn't know it existed. But yeah, let me know if you ever watch these shows. They were great. I kind of wish we can have another experience with that. Do I think Disney's gonna do great with the Daredevil? I think it's gonna be okay. I've seen a few of the Disney Marvel shows. I don't quite get as into them. I feel the writing is a little weaker than it was in the Netflix shows. Like if you take Falcon and Winter Soldier, 2 characters I love. I'm one of the biggest fans of Captain America there is. And to see them take his 2 allies and put him in a show where it feels just super stilted just doesn't feel right. I don't know, it's still a good show, just it wasn't as gripping as it probably should have been. That's just me. WandaVision was great. Anyways, yeah, let me know what you think, and until next time, you take care. Hey, thanks for watching.
Give us a like if you enjoyed it, and dislike it if you didn't.
Let us know what you think about the channel.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Tell your mom.